Hey, saludos. My name is Byron Gonzalez. I am the program director here at Latin Alt Radio. Depends on where you're tuning in. If you're tuning in on YouTube, you can check us out on our Instagram using at Latin Alt Radio as the handle. And you can also tune into the station on our website at latinalt.org. And a staunch supporter, a supporter from a long time ago. And one of our first ever in-studio performances that we've had is right here in our new normal, which is a Zoom interview. This is Stefni Valencia. She's a singer-songwriter, cantante, right here in Los Angeles. How are you doing? It's been a while since we've talked.
It's been a while, but it's so good to see you. Like I said, one of the first things I said, I'm like, I need to see my Latin alt family. I need to hang out with Byron, even if it's virtual, porque that's true. You were actually one of my first supporters when I first started in the Latino rock scene. And so, I'm always going to give the love back. So
Yeah, thank you. And it's been a while since you've been working on some stuff I've seen and heard. So I do want to know, what have you been getting up to during the pandemic, and what kind of moods have you been in to write?
During the pandemic, I kind of, I had just come back from Oaxaca, like literally the week of the pandemic.
Oh, wow.
And
At the
so I
beginning of
went,
March.
yeah, right at the beginning of March. I literally flew in Monday and we went into lockdown Thursday. And so it was something I was so prepared for, because after going, I did a trip. It was a humanitarian trip. And I came into this headspace of, I'm so lucky I have a home. I'm so lucky I can get food delivered. We're so lucky we have Amazon. Just
Yeah.
really appreciating the little things, that I didn't go into like a panic mode because I was in a different headspace when I arrived.
Okay.
But I will say though, I kind of took it upon myself during the pandemic to adapt, like really adapt as an artist, learn to write with my team virtually right away, which we kind of had already started to do that, where it's like, hey, I have an idea, shoot it to you. What do you have? Shoot it to me. Okay, let's meet up. And so we kind of had already tried the virtual songwriting
So
thing,
it
which
wasn't too much
worked.
of a challenge for you.
No, it wasn't too much of a challenge. I think what's been the most challenging thing has been not being able to play live, not
Right,
being able to
of
play in front
course.
of an audience. You can't replicate that energy. I mean, you could try, but
I know
really,
with
you can't.
I know I've seen you do Instagram lives, and
Yes.
people comment their emojis, they'll shout their support in text, but it's definitely not the same
It's
reaction. Of
not the
course, you see
same.
hearts going up in
Yeah,
the
but it's
Instagram
not the
live. Yeah.
same. Right. And that was the other thing. Like during the pandemic, I kind of took to my social media as like a platform to reach out to the art community and say, hey, there's other artists out there that are struggling, artists that I know felt like, wow, I finally have traction and I have all these plans for 2020. And then the pandemic hit, and a lot of people mentally, because I'm a big advocate when it comes to mental health, felt like they were stuck. They kind of felt like, this is the universe telling me to quit. This is it. This is I should just quit now. And so a
Yeah.
lot of people had this emotion. And so I kind of felt like, you know what? Let me reach out to some other artists who have adapted or maybe have their own advice and want to share it with the art community. And that kind of took off pretty awesomely. I didn't expect it to get such a support from so many artists saying like, yes, I love this idea. And so I did I did over 50 charlas, I call them, conversations with artists, offering their love and their wisdom. And it's been awesome, which landed me an opportunity with LATV. So,
Nice. Yeah, you kind of became a media entity for a little bit, right? And not
right.
just
I
entertainment.
wasn't like, it wasn't part of the plan. It was literally from my heart. I just wanted to be able to emotionally and mentally support as many people as possible, letting them know, hey, you're not alone. We've all been there. How can we help?
So this experience reaching out to the community and talking to people, all kinds of people during a pandemic, during a tough time, did that kind of influence the songwriting for these next few songs that you're gonna perform for us in just a little bit?
It definitely inspired the visualization in a lot of our music videos. Like for example, Sueña, we did about 5 music videos during the pandemic. Sueña, it's a collaboration with so many artists, so many people, moms that had to learn to be teachers, and them videoing themselves and sending me their video. And I did a compilation of our new reality, our new normal. So definitely inspired a lot of the visualization, because I had an idea of what we wanted to do, and it just changed based off of what was going on. And same thing with our new songwriting. It just became, okay, what do I feel more than anything? It's like, okay, what do I feel? Do I feel anxious? Do I feel frustrated? But that's how my songwriting always is. It just has to flow. I try not to ever force an idea.
Gotcha. Yeah, I can't force it because then it would just seem too ingenuine is the word.
Exactly.
Let's take the first pause of the interview. We got your guitarist there just kind of dazing
Hanging
off
out
a little bit. Yeah, hanging out. He wants to play. He looks like
he's ready to play.
Yeah.
I think that's why it sounds echoey. His mic is on.
Oh, okay. Maybe it's coming in through the...
I'm feeding into two different mics at the moment. Yeah.
Okay. Well, let's get into it. What's the first song that you're going to be playing for?
We'll do Rebeldes first.
Let's do it. All right. Take it away, Stefni.
Vengo de buenas raíces al lado de mi mamá, fuertes, valientes que no se dejan, siempre listas para luchar. Oh, oh. Rebeldes. Hacen las cosas a su manera, contra la corriente para triunfar, enchiladas con el tiempo, un fuego ardiente en el corazón. Rebeldes, hay algo claro con el tiempo, algo dulce con cada pensamiento, una fuerza que llevan ellas dentro, rebeldes, 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 cada una es rebelde. Cada una es rebelde. Hay algo claro con el tiempo, algo dulce con cada pensamiento, una fuerza que llevan ellas dentro, rebeldes, 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 cada una es rebelde, cada una es rebelde.
Rebeldes. Thank you for playing that. Sounded great. Your voice is off the charts.
Is it clipping? Is it clipping all over the
No,
place?
actually, it actually did really well. But it is, it said escalofríos.
Oh, thank you. Mil gracias. I love it.
Of course. And that song was one of your singles of 2021. You released a few and during the pandemic, but that one was earlier this year.
Yes.
Can you tell me a little bit behind the scenes of that song and what kind of led to the lyrics and what sort of mood were you in when you wrote it?
Honestly, I was thinking of my grandmother. So in 2020 in December, my grandmother would have, if she were still alive, was going to be 100. And we had all these plans as a family to do in her memory, do a big birthday celebration. And my mom, you know, we were discussing, we're going to go to Arizona, hang out with the family. A lot of milestones were taking place in 2020. So we had all these plans to go to Arizona and do a big 100th birthday bash for my grandma in her memory. And it didn't happen. And we were talking about it and we said, well, you know, it's okay. We did it virtually. We did it our way. And I said, but isn't that how it is? Like, we do things our way. And I then wanted to write a song about it because my nana was a rebelde. My nana was, I always say she was Rosie the Riveter of her time. She made bullets for World War II.
Oh, interesting.
The moment they let women wear pants, that woman never put a skirt back on. And she was a 40s chick. She was that woman. My grandfather was a zoot suiter. And so very rebelde in her time. And my mom's the same way. And my tia Delfina, who built her house brick by brick. My tias who are single moms. I wanted to write a song that emulated these women in my life that raised me, that have taught me to be the strong, independent woman that I am. And I wanted to inspire that in other women and in maybe parents that have daughters to say, yeah, be strong. Yeah, be independent. Because I feel like the term rebelde for a long time had like this very terrible, like there was this meaning behind it. It's like, oh, es una niña rebelde. It was like a bad thing. And it's like, no, I wanted to own it. It's like, no, being rebelde doesn't mean it's a bad thing. It's just I march to the beat of my own drum. No voy contra la corriente.
Yeah.
And that's who I am. And I feel that we should embrace people that do that, especially women that go against the grain, that are fighting to change our history. So that's the song Rebeldes.
Yeah, and I think being a rebelde is also something that you just feel because you feel wronged and you feel like this isn't okay. So
yes,
it
exactly
definitely isn't a bad thing. Unless, of course, you're going against traditional values, which also aren't the best things because they need to be updated for the modern world.
Exactly. You know, and I discussed it. So we released it. And that was my whole, what I wanted to do was like for Women's Month, I wanted to offer an anthem of unity because, and I wrote it, honestly, it was during all this turmoil that was going on in Chile and Mexico. I mean, we can go down the list of so many países.
Right. There's just, it's a never ending thing.
It's never ending. And I always say, I'm like, being a woman that's in a man's industry, we have a lot of growth. We have a lot to change and a lot of room to grow. And people are always like, yeah, but really, is it still like, do we still need change? Like, do you really feel aren't things changing? I said, think about it. If I'm still celebrating the first woman that did blah, 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 la primera mujer de que ganó, blah, blah, blah. I'm sorry, what year are we in and we're barely celebrating these things?
There's still so many firsts of women doing so many things.
Exactly.
Yeah, I get that. And then that's kind of on brand for Stefni Valencia. That is you. You're always trying to inspire people in your lyrics and your last album too. There's always something that, first listen, you'll just listen to it. You're like, oh, that's a good song. But then you keep listening and you listen to the lyrics and when you look them up, you're like, well, okay, there's a message here. And that's very important.
Yeah, that's always my goal. I'm like, I never want to just write to write. It's like there's a purpose. I have to, who's listening to it? What do I want them to gain from this? I mean, it makes me feel better, pero in the end, what do I want them to feel? And that's with every song.
Yeah, and I think that's super important. I applaud you for that as well.
Thank you.
Let's get into the second break of the interview. Let's play the next song.
All right.
Please introduce it.
All right. So this is our new single that just came out. I wrote it in memory of my familia, of all these women that have told me it's okay to be me and beauty is skin deep. And so I hope that this will inspire other parents to give them the song. And this is the song No Te Cambiare.
All right, perfect. Stefni Valencia, take it away.
Pedir que la luna empiece a madrugar. No puedo pedir que el desierto me entregue de rosas te han pedido que cambies tu rostro, tu forma de ser. Si no cambiaré la belleza del sol, ¿para qué te cambiaré? No, 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 no te cambiaré. No, 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 no te cambiaré. Te han pedido que cambies tu rostro, vueltas y vueltas da. El tiempo sigue corriendo, corre sin parar. Te han pedido que cambies tu rostro, tu forma de ser. Si no cambiaré la belleza del sol, ¿para qué te cambiaré? No, 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 no te cambiaré. No, 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 no te cambiaré. Si no cambiaré un desierto, no cambiaré el sol, ¿para qué cambiarás tu rostro? ¿Para qué callarás tu voz? No, 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 no te cambiaré. No, 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 no te cambiaré. No, 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 no te cambiaré. No, 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 no te cambiaré.
Wonderful, wonderful. Thank you for playing that one, your new single, No Te Cambiare. I really enjoyed it. Thank you.
Ah, thank you. Yeah, you're the first to hear it. Like, we haven't played it live yet, so
Live, right? Yeah.
first time, premiere here on Latin Alt.
Oh, thank you. It sounded great as an acoustic. Now I'm just beginning to wonder how it's going to sound with the full band, drummers, bassist, and the full electricness of it. It's a little bit softer too, though, but it's good for the cold weather.
Oh, yes. Well, actually, the song is acoustic. We have a cello player in it.
Wow.
Very different dynamic. The music video's out on YouTube. It's a Dia de Muertos theme. Because in the end, the whole concept behind the Catrina is doesn't matter your status. It doesn't matter your color. It doesn't matter your religion. In the end, we're all skeletons. In the end, deep down, we all have the same make. But beauty is your spirit. It's who you are. It's your uniqueness.
Oh, that's great. Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't change that.
Don't change that.
Don't let anybody change you.
Exactly. Yes. And I feel that many people need to hear that, especially con las redes sociales. I feel that even myself, I'll be like, estoy de moda. And I'm like, what do I care? Like,
yeah, just be cool by yourself. Don't let anybody tell you.
Right.
So this is your third single of the year. That sets off alarms in my head. Like you got something planned going on. You got something planned. Are we to expect an EP or an album?
I'm going to do an album. Yeah, I'm so excited. This has been a year of a lot of growth, and I just took it as an opportunity to just write and seguir lanzando, really. And sky's the limit. So I just really wanted to push myself. So we're doing an album. It's called Mariposas de Fuego, which we're planning to release in the spring of 2022. So I'm very excited about it. Yeah.
That's really cool. Yeah. Yeah. Cause it's been a while since you released an album in 2019. So,
Yeah. Yeah. It's kind of crazy. I was thinking about it and it's like, that's the thing. 2019, I released it in around this time, 2019.
Feels like 3 years ago, 4
and
years
it feels
ago.
like it was so long ago, but at the same time, it doesn't. I have to remind myself, it's like, it wasn't that long ago.
No, I mean, our times has been very warped this last year.
Yes, exactly. So I kind of have to remind myself of that. It's like, okay, you're fine. You're fine.
But I want to know what kind of what's the driving force behind your album that you're about to release?
Well, honestly, I just love to create. I love what I do. So the driving force is that it's for my sanity. It's for my sanity more than anything. But it's really, I just love creating. I love releasing music. I know a lot of people really took a pause in 2020, even 2021. I've spoken with artists who are like, what was the point of me releasing something? So I'm just sitting on it. And in my attitude, it's like, why? No, get it out there and create new and, put more stuff out there. I look at that as the motivation. I make room for more things once I release whatever I have in my system. And so I look at it as that's the driving force. I just want to be able to release something, get it out there and see where it goes and para crear más y más.
Yeah. So all these songs are going to be new, or is there some songs that were left over from your previous album that didn't make it to the previous album? Soñando en Color. Is there any new? Is it all
they're all
mixed?
new. Yeah,
all
they're
new?
all new. The only one that's going to be on it that's an old song was just Vueltas, which we released at the beginning of the pandemic. And we did it with more as a contribution to Al Otro Lado, being able to offer some attention as to what's going on at the border. Yeah. And we did an acoustic version, which we even filmed pandemically, where you can't tell we're in 3 different homes, different rooms, filming. We filmed ourselves with the director on Zoom, guiding us on what to do. And that's, we adapted and that's how we did. And we had to measure like, okay, this is how far I am from the camera. And we would tell the next person, all right, that's how far you need to be from the camera. So we looked the same. And so that was my whole thing. So that's the only one that's on the album that's an older song. The rest of them are all new.
Cool. And what kind of sounds can we expect? Are we still going to hear that rock and puro rock? Or I know that a while ago you released like this song with Sonny Cavana that was more of your like dancey tune. Are we
it was more poppy. It was definitely a little bit more poppy. It's still like more of a poppy alternative. But no, I'm still doing the rock, alternative rock. I think like, for example, the last song we just released this year, Que Esperaste, has that more like rock, like very modern sounding rock en español. Is more of what you're going to be hearing on this album. It's a different sound. Es una mezcla. I had someone say that we sound like a Latin AFI. And I've had somebody else tell me like, you sound kind of like a mezcla of like Pearl Jam and Mon Laferte in one. And I was like, I'll take it. Like, I'm a fan of both. Sure.
That's great. That's a great comparison, actually.
Right? I thought so. I was like, I love it. Okay, I'll go with it.
Cool.
So I think that's the thing. I just go wherever the wind takes me, even my sound. Yeah,
you just got to let the universe speak for itself sometimes. And then what kind of mood you are. And also don't be afraid to change it up sometimes.
Exactly. Yeah. Like even with this one, like I wanted to add drums and the whole thing. And Anthony and Dan were the ones that turned around and told me like, no, we're doing this one acoustically. And
nice.
I said, okay. They're the ones that always remind me, it's like less is more sometimes. And you need that. I think as any artist, you need that contribution in your craft that says it's done. Because many times us as artists, we feel like it's not complete. Oh, I could do it better.
Yeah. So it never is though.
It never is perfect ever. It's, and I swear every time I have done it like perfectly, I'm never recording or there's nobody there.
Nobody's looking.
Nobody's looking and I did it, pero I feel that that's the thing you need. I'm very lucky. I have an amazing team. that supports my sound, supports what I'm doing. And I feel that any artist out there needs that. They need, if it's just one person that's there to tell you like, that was the take, or it's complete, to be able to darte ese ánimo to release stuff.
Yeah, that's why you have a band behind you. You got support.
Yes, exactly.
All right, well, let's get into the last break, the last song break of the interview. And you told me you were going to play Que Esperaste, which is your last single.
Yeah,
so,
Que Esperaste. Yeah, Que Esperaste, which is our last single. It's not going to have the full rock force, but you get to hear it acoustically.
Yeah, which I always like. I always like hearing acoustic versions of things.
Yeah.
All right, take it away.
Un beso que empezó la noche de conocerlo. Ni su nombre, ni su número, nada te dio. Y ahora piensas que encontraste tu príncipe. Ahora piensas que encontraste tu príncipe. ¿Y qué esperaste? ¿Y qué esperaste de él? ¿Y qué esperaste? ¿Y qué esperaste de él? De él. Un hechizo te dejó embrujada, enloquecida te dejó. Poesías llenas de mentiras, aire lleno de engaño. Ahora piensas que encontraste tu príncipe. Ahora piensas que encontraste tu príncipe. ¿Y qué esperaste? ¿Y qué esperaste de él? ¿Y qué esperaste? ¿Y qué esperaste de él? De él. No llores, no dejes que tus lágrimas caigan en tu almohada. No llores, no dejes que tus lágrimas caigan en tu almohada. Ahora piensas que encontraste tu príncipe. Ahora piensas que encontraste tu príncipe. ¿Y qué esperaste? ¿Y qué esperaste de él? ¿Y qué esperaste? ¿Y qué esperaste de él? De él. De él.
Awesome. Thank you for playing that. You still rocked it, even though it was acoustic. You still rocked it. It's the voice, I think, is the driving. Song. Yeah, the driving force is the voice.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. I appreciate that.
Well, thank you for playing that. What inspired this song, and where were you when you wrote it?
So this one, what inspired it was so many people I speak to, and me seeing it personally, is so many girls feel that they met the one, or even guys, they say, I think I met the one, and it's at a bar or a show or something. And then nada viene de eso. Or they think like, oh yeah, oh my gosh, I met like my queen, my king. And no hay nada. It was like a very superficial, it was a Vegas situation where it's like what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas, and they thought it was going to be more. And so for me, it was kind of a message to say you deserve more than that. You deserve someone who's going to remember your name, who wants to call you, who wants to really be in your life. I believe in love. My grandparents met, it was love at first sight, and same with my parents. And I believe in love. And I feel that people need to believe in real love and chase the real thing and not cry over the people who use and abuse you. No mereces mejor. So that's where that song was inspired. So it's my way to be able to shake people that are in those situations going like, no, mereces más que esto. Stop beating yourself up over it. Like it wasn't you, I promise. And I wrote this one actually with my team. We were having rehearsal and we just were like, let's write something. And we wrote this one in like an hour, like maybe in an hour we wrote it. It was a very quick turnaround con este because we just felt it completamente.
That's great. So you were kind of in the practice room during this.
Yeah, we were in the practice room and I said, hey,
just turned into a camp.
Very much so. It was like, hey, do you have an idea? And I had Que Esperaste already in my mind and I started singing that and they were like, okay, what key is that in? And they started just jamming a little bit and I was like, keep playing that, don't stop. I already have lyrics. And
nice.
It just took, like I said, in an hour, we basically wrote it and then we're like, that was awesome. Okay, we have our next song. Cool.
That's easy peasy. I like when it just comes out like that and then you're ready to release a new song.
Exactly.
Nice. So what else, before we end the interview, what else do you have planned? Like, what can we expect? Like, when's the next single and how many singles, maybe if you can tell that much information, how many more singles can we expect before the album?
I honestly don't know.
Hey, that's fine.
I know I'm going to release something in February. That's my plan, kind of to prepare for the album release. I just don't know. If it were up to me, I would do a music video for every single song.
Right.
But that's very ambitious of me. Let's be very honest. But it comes down to, for me, it's which is the song we all agree on is the one that we feel has the most heart, the most jive, todo. It has the whole package. And then I try to do a music video with it. And then we go from there and hopefully do an album release party and have a good time. Pero it's la meta que tengo. That's the goals that I have. But yeah, I don't know. It might be two. Who knows? No sé.
It's too early to tell. Still,
half the time I'm not in charge. The universe is. So
exactly.
Actually, the universe is always in charge.
That is always true, for sure. Absolutely. Well, Stefni, it was wonderful to talk to you again. I appreciate taking the time to do so and preparing a couple songs for us as well. That's really wonderful.
Of course, Byron, thank you so much. My Latin alt family, like I said, you always have a special place in my heart. You've been one of the first supporters to ever support my music. So it was an honor to be able to do this in our new normal. Yeah.
Well, eventually, hopefully we can meet again in real life. Or you can meet me at my coffee shop again.
Yes, down.
Well, yeah, thank you again. I wish you a ton of luck with your future singles and your album. If anybody watching this enjoyed music from Stefni Valencia, has never heard of her before, you can check out the links below. Or if you're watching this on IGTV, well, it's right there in the post. Just click on it. You know how to handle Instagram. You can find her real easy. She's tagged everything and everything's available there for you. So you can check her out, add her on her socials and everything.
Yeah, connect and check out the music videos. Tell me what you think about them. They're on my YouTube channel, Stefni Valencia.
Yeah, and if you like them, subscribe. And if you like this one, subscribe for more, as always. Well, Stefni, thank you so much. Ahí te miro cuando te miro y mucha buena suerte.
Oh, mil gracias. Cuídate, stay safe, everyone, and stay healthy.
Ciao.